I just want to say one thing to my wife who's home. Yo, Adrian! I just listened to the newest episode of Cosmic Chronicles, the podcast where we follow two first-time readers, Sheta and Jastes, and chronicle their journey through Brandon Sanderson's Cosmic series. On today's episode, we'll be chronicling Mistborn, the Well of Ascension, chapters 49 through 51. So now, let's throw it over to the host of Cosmic Chronicles. This is Joe. Why, thank you, Joe. Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Cosmic Chronicles. My name is still Joe, and I am still joined by Justin and Sheta. How are you two doing right now?
Right now, better than I've ever been in all of time.
Right now, I'm okay.
All right, that's a mood. And if anybody was wondering, I'm also doing fine.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask.
No one was
you,
wondering,
how are
Joe.
you doing?
No, don't even pretend. Nobody cares how a host is doing.
Like, you're not a real person.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on from that. Let's go into our questions about random shit. So Halloween just passed, so we'll do some horror movie themed questions. So first, I'll ask you, what are your top 3 favorite horror movies?
3, Babadook, It Follows, and Conjuring 2.
I think Phantasm, Candyman, and do you count The Thing as a horror movie, or is that a sci-fi movie too?
Do we count what? You cut out.
The Thing as a horror movie, or is that a sci-fi movie in your opinion?
I'd say that's a horror movie.
All right,
It's a horror
there we go.
sci-fi.
Cut to the dog scene. Yep, that's a horror movie.
I'd throw it in the same vein as Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sci-fi horror, that counts.
All right, so my
again,
3 favorites.
I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
Yeah.
I'll probably put The Conjuring 1, Cabin in the Woods, and Evil Dead 2.
Oh,
all different. Nope, can't change it. Can't change
I gotta
it.
switch out. I gotta switch out The Thing for the original Dawn of the Dead. That's what I was forgetting. Evil Dead 2 made me remember that one, and that one goes to number 2. For anyone who's very, very invested in the numbering here.
Which Candyman was it? Was the original or the newest one?
Just the first one. I've actually never seen the ones after yet.
All
Movie's
right.
too good, and I don't want to watch B-movie version sequels that badly. It's the same with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've never watched the sequels because the first one was such a good horror movie, and I know the sequels are like comedies.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with me, why I've never watched Darkman 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. Or how I regret watching RoboCop 2 and 3.
RoboCop 2 is all right. I will say it's not horrible, but it's not nearly as good as the first one.
No.
3 is horrible. 2 still had some moments.
Justin, what about Hellraiser? Or Reanimator?
They're all close, but I'm just going top 3.
Okay.
Reanimator is in the top 10. Hellraiser as well.
Or was Sheta talking about all the Hellraiser sequels we've watched?
Oh, God.
I think Justin and I, we've gotten through 6. We started 7 and just had to stop it.
I say go to 3 and then abandon ship.
We need to finish. We just need to watch 7. That way we can watch 8, because 8 has Henry Cavill in it.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I don't know how big his part is, but I just know that he's in Hellraiser 8.
Wow. Now I gotta watch all those shitty movies.
Well, 5 was decent.
It was a decent movie. It was a terrible Hellraiser movie.
Yeah. And then watching 6, it's just this is just Hellraiser 5 again. Because those ones, you get to them and you realize these are just other Hollywood scripts they had that the studios decided, let's just turn this into a Hellraiser movie. So they quickly found some way to shoehorn Pinhead into it. Because it's obvious that's what happened.
That is the other reason I'm glad Harvey Weinstein had to go to jail. His crimes against Hellraiser. There's another reason that I'm more glad for, but that one I'm also glad about.
Hellraiser 5 was the one with, I believe that's the one with Mayhem in it, wasn't it?
Yeah, the insurance guy, yep.
All right, so let's go off from that, and next we'll go into who are your favorite
insurance mascot? No, God,
No. Oh, who was the old Esurance cartoon
Yep,
person?
Erin Esurance is my favorite. That's the one I was gonna say.
But no,
They gotta
let's
bring
go.
her back.
Esurance isn't a thing.
Well, bring it back just to bring her back.
We'll stay with horror movies. Your favorite horror movie protagonist.
Protagonist. That's a good one.
Probably Laurie Strode from the Halloween movies.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Mike and Reggie from Phantasm, I think.
Reggie?
For being a Yeah, because they're a precursor to the Winchesters. I've always thought that was the inspiration for that.
Man, if Dean Winchester could hear you say that, would he
He'd
be
be
proud?
so... I'm sure he loves that movie, yeah.
I don't remember the characters' names in there at all. I just remember boy, brother, and friend.
It was
Reggie is
boy and
friend.
friend. Because did you ever watch the sequel? I don't remember. Because in the sequel, Reggie and boy, played by a different actor, get in their car, travel around to hunt down the tall man, and it just feels exactly like Supernatural.
Yep, they even get to hook up with some girls that end up being... What were they? Tricks.
Well, don't spoil the movie.
Are you gonna watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you should. It's a good one.
I mean, they don't do that. I always feel awful when I accidentally do spoilers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to
My
say,
favorite...
Sheta, I think Phantasm is one of the least movies to worry about spoiling besides the first one.
All right. For me, horror movie protagonist, probably Ash from Evil Dead.
Oh, God, how did I forget about Ash? Damn it.
But cutting him out, probably Tommy Jarvis from Friday the 13th. It doesn't matter whether it's Corey Feldman, Tommy Jarvis, Part 6 Tommy Jarvis, even mute Tommy Jarvis from the horrible fifth movie. All of them were cool. And then a honorable mention will go to Jamie from Halloween Parts 4 and 5.
Jamie, yeah, that was her name. Yeah.
Thinking of what you said, Sheta, I think I got to change mine to the Warrens from the Conjuring movie. I forgot about them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's a
Warrens
tough
are
one.
great.
There's so many good ones.
All right. Well, I think that's what we'll leave for all the horror movie talk. Because let's get back into Mistborn, a true horror story.
Yeah,
I mean,
sometimes. Yeah.
It's not a happy place, that's for sure.
And especially a true horror story following anything that Straff does.
Oh, yeah.
Straff did nothing wrong.
You gonna get that on a shirt?
Well, we'll go into recapping last week's episode. And let's go with Sheta this time.
Oh, thank God.
What? Justin got skipped because Nick was here last time.
No, I didn't. I did the one before.
No, you didn't. It was me,
I totally
and then
did.
it was your turn.
Sheta, Joe has spoken.
Sheta, we're going with you because the recap will devastate you more.
But I don't do, and I don't remember it that good. Okay. Oh yeah, no. I just wanted to forget it. All right. Last week was chapters 44 through 48. That's all. I don't know. All I have are my theories written down. All I know is the worst things that happened last week. Zane got Vin to be all confused. I'm sorry. Joe, can you start me off then, at least? Where did we end off?
It started off with Set's army leaving and Vin being in Cayman's lair. Sad.
Okay. Yes, okay, I remember now. We ended up with Vin not killing Set, and Set's army leaves. Vin is so devastated. Elend, with the help of Orseer, find Vin, and she's just at her lowest point after killing all those men. And she's like gonna break up with Elend, and she doesn't know what to do. She tells him a little bit about what she's been going through with her feelings for him and her feelings for Zane a little bit. Then I think, is this the one where... Oh yes, sorry. Tyndall and Sazed are still studying and trying to find clues. But they find a mysterious piece of document has been taken from like multiple documents, but not Sazed's metal mine. So it's a weird mystery. Vin comes in for some love advice from Sazed, and he tells her to stay with Elend. Then Elend comes in and asks for some advice from Sazed, and he says, stay with Vin, right? And they're like, oh, thanks, Sazed, and they all leave. Sazed comes up with a plan to get Vin and Elend and the kids out of town because all the grown-ups, all the guys know that war is coming from the koloss and the other army. And so he does a secret meeting to make plans for that. And the whole gang is kind of like sad, melancholy, but it's a bittersweet feeling that the kids will get out of there. So that includes Spook and Allrianne and Tyndall to chaperone them. Yeah, that. Am I missing anything?
The secret conjure gets revealed.
No! Okay, I don't want to go there.
You're missing the whole climax.
I honestly blocked those out of my mind because I didn't want to talk about it. Okay, fine. So there's a big climax of the set of chapters where freaking Zane goes and he basically takes Vin by the hand and is like, let's go, Vin. And Vin's like, I don't know. First she's like, oh yeah, okay, we'll go because I just feel so bad about killing all these guys. So she's about to go, but then Zane kind of flinches and reveals that he doesn't like trust her fully. Like he's still kind of flinchy and weird, and it reminds Vin how great of a guy Elend is, that he trusts her and loves her. She's just kind of like, wait, what the heck? I'm not going with you. I'm gonna stay with Elend because he is obviously better than you. Then Zane gets mad and he pushes Vin, and then he just starts trying to kill her. He really tries to kill her. He nearly does. Orseer is there too, and Vin's like, help, Orseer, let's go. But he reveals that he is not Orseer. He is actually Zane's Khandra. He's the secret Khandra all this time. And it's devastating. But last minute, he tries his best, Orseer tries his best to help Vin, and Vin gets the final hit and kills Zane. I don't want to say that. He kills Zane. And then it's really sad. And Orseer reveals himself. His name is actually something else. The
Tensoon.
Tensoon, the Venture Khandra from the last book. And he can't stay. He leaves too now. And then, but it ends kind of nice because Vin's just like, all right, I'm just gonna run into Elend's arm right now, and she literally just goes straight into his arms, like flies away and just goes and hugs him. That's probably
and then they get married.
Oh yes, she's totally injured, like half dead, but she gets Sazed to marry them. So they're married now.
And lastly, then Sazed gives them like, oh yeah, Well of Ascension's to the north. You guys got to leave.
Oh yeah.
He gives them a map.
He says he'll give them the map to the Well of Ascension, and they're kind of like, I feel like they were kind of shook, and they're like, you know what, that's kind of a good idea, let's do that. So they fall right into Sazed's plan to like get them out of town.
You know, Joe, I forgot to say, I've been wondering, like, all this book, I can't believe they introduced a Venture Khandra last book, and he hasn't appeared, and that he's not going to appear at any point. I can't believe, even when they're cutting back to Straff all the time, in my head I'm like, that seems like kind of like a dumb thing to introduce and then never have payoff on. I should have seen that coming. It's so obvious now.
Well, I always knew
dumb,
it. I just assumed that the secret Khandra was their Khandra, you know.
Yeah, but like
that they who it was.
That they'd introduce it as like it was our first Khandra, like a character we'd seen, and that he was not being shown as a character. Like the idea that it would just be maybe some little thing we'd kill quick, it seemed so weird to me, and it just never registered in my mind at all. Yeah, because like if he was going to do it that way, he would have just said, "Oh yes, my father always had a Khandra." Yeah, introduce it for real.
Well, yeah, I really had a hard time with these chapters, and it was the saddest. So I lost both Orseer and Zane in one stroke.
All right, good job on the recap.
Yay.
It was fantastic. The greatest recap ever in the history of our recaps.
You know, I was happy for a second, Joe, and then I noticed that you were being sarcastic.
Well, you guys complained last week that I said good job to Nick, but I never said good job to you. So,
Well, that at least made me believe it.
all right. Well, we'll move on to this week. This week we read 3 chapters, and so what are your thoughts on these chapters this week?
Very harrowing.
Very shocking.
Scary stuff. Mm-hmm. Ominous, scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, what we'll do is we'll go on to reviewing these chapters. So with this, we're starting part 5 of the Well of Ascension, called Snow and Ash. So chapter 49. He is accustomed to giving up his own will before the greater good, as he sees. So the chapter
As
begins.
he sees it, sure makes that ominous.
Mm-hmm.
Turns you from somebody sounding heroic to somebody sounding dangerous.
Yeah.
So the chapter begins. Tindrill's upset with Elend for leaving and calls him a fool. She says that he cannot leave the city now because he is their king, but Elend says that he is not. They rejected him, and now he's worrying about more important matters. Tindrill says that he cannot believe that Vin is actually the hero of ages, but Elend says that he trusts Vin, so he will believe her. And so Tindrill tells Elend that he will be remembered as a coward, but she still gives him a book that Sazed had wanted him to have. It's a book of like all the notes that he and Tindrill had put together about the rubbing and the prophecies and stuff, and give it to Elend so that way he can give it to the Keeper Synod when he arrives in Terrace at the city Tathingdwyn. And then Tindrill leaves after she gives him the book.
I always feel sad when Elend is rude to Tindrill.
But she taught him to be. She encouraged him to be.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm finding it hard to cast Tindrill because of that. Like, someone who can come off as someone you could like talk back to like that and not just like feel like Elend is being rude and stuff. Because she's an elderly woman and stuff, you know? So like, you shouldn't talk back to your elders like that. It's rude.
So then Spook arrives, and he is looking nervous. And Allrianne also arrives. Vin objects, but Allrianne says that Breezy insisted that she leaves the city. And she insists that she and Vin are close, which Vin denies. But Allrianne says that she will still leave the city, so if she doesn't go with them, she's going to leave afterwards, and she'll just be attacked, and they will have to come save her anyways. So Vin relents and lets Allrianne come with them. And as they are leaving, Elend watches the people as he leaves, and he expects to see them upset. Instead, they look as though they expected this to happen. A soldier comes up and asks Vin if they are really leaving, and Vin tells them they are going to go get help. They will be back. After they're outside, a group of archers from Straff's camp comes after them, and Vin just fills them all up with coins. She has Elend, Spook, and Allrianne go on ahead as she faces the next group of archers that are coming up. And Vin just throws a handful of pewter dust, and she pushes on the dust, and it causes it to throw up a lot of ash from the ground, which just makes it so that the archers can't see, and it allows Vin's group to escape. And then once they are out of range of the archers, Allrianne thanks them for their help getting out of the city, and then she just rides off on her own in a different direction.
I can't believe that.
When she kind of shows her true self a little bit.
I can't believe she got me.
So then we cut over to Breeze, and he's watching everyone leave the city, and he thinks that solves one problem. And Demu wishes for the survivor to watch over them, and Sazed joins in, wishing for the survivor. But Clubs gets upset with this and calls it nonsense. But Sazed says it isn't nonsense, it's faith. But Clubs tells Sazed that he doesn't like his ethics. Sazed's beliefs are situational. At least others like Demu picked one religion and stuck with it, but Sazed just goes with whatever works at the time. And the group also, they look at this big pillar of smoke that's coming from the Koloss camp, and they wonder what it could be. It's too big to be campfires, and there were not enough tents in that Koloss camp to make this much smoke. But Breeze just thinks that it doesn't really matter now.
Just Clubs and Sazed's little conversation is one of my favorites in the whole book, because that's something I kind of thought about Sazed a little bit too.
I always thought you were like Clubs. Yeah. I always thought Clubs was your spirit animal.
Oh, if I was here, I'd be just like Clubs for sure. I wouldn't like any of this shit.
Alright, so then we jump over to Straff, and he's in his tent feeling incredibly sick. And he believes that he has been poisoned by Zane again somehow. A messenger comes in and tells Straff that some people left the city and that they were not able to stop them. Straff is upset, but he's too focused on the poison to really care. So he calls for Amaranta. And then when she arrives, Amaranta immediately begins making her antidote. And Straff realizes that she's making it differently than she usually does and calls her out on it. She says that she's adding something to help him sleep, and he believes her until he notices something on her chest. He rips off her dress and notices that she has scarring on it, which would be from Zane. Since Straff had been ignoring her, Amaranta became Zane's lover.
I just noticed what that meant. Right? Or am I a perv?
What?
Why would he have scarring on her chest?
Oh, from the spike?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think of that. No. I thought he was just a freak.
No, I think it's more just him cutting her.
No, I like Sheta's. The
Sorry.
friction.
Well, the spike only comes out the back. The front part is scabbed over, so it's more like a nub.
So you know they were into some freaky shit.
Oh my gosh, sorry for reacting.
Sheta, this is a family podcast. What is wrong with you?
And I didn't write this.
Neither did
I'm
he.
Just pointing it out. Yeah. Sorry, you can cut that out.
No, I like it.
No, that's staying in.
Sheta, that's the best theory. That's the best fan theory so far.
It's just I just didn't read it that way until now, but gosh. Thinking of Zane. I can't believe Zane's not a virgin though. That's pretty gross too. Sorry. Go on, Joe, sorry.
But Amaranta, she's upset with Straff for sending Zane away. Straff says that she helped Zane poison him. But Amaranta answers that Straff was never poisoned. She had been secretly giving him a drug, and then he would go through withdrawal. She gave him the drug again to stop the withdrawal. Amaranta says that Straff is hers now. She controls him. But then Straff tackles her and strangles her. He blacks out while strangling her, and then when he comes to, she's dead. Which kind of worries him, because he didn't plan on killing her. That just sort of happened, because now he doesn't even know what to take.
This is kind of perfect.
Man, I don't know how Brandon Sanderson did it, but he found the one way to make Straff even lamer. He wasn't even poisoned. He was just a drug addict that he didn't even know it this whole time. At least when he was being poisoned, he seemed a little badass for enduring it. No, now he's just a junkie.
And he's
been tricked
dealer.
all this time. Yeah. What an idiot. What a loser. And he trusted this woman to cure him, and she was the one doing it.
For some reason. Even though he treats her like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
People like that are so weirdly deluded, It seems like a theme
trusted
too.
her.
Yeah.
He trusted her because he just believed, since I slept with her before, she's all over me. Even though he dropped her once she had like 1 or 2 kids and became too old in her mid-20s.
Yeah. The thing too where he thinks, she thinks I want her. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like he thinks, why does he think she wants him? Like, are you so
somebody
deluded?
like that would have to assume everyone wants you, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're hot shit.
Yeah, no, you took her without any consent. You treat her like garbage.
We don't know that.
She wants to kill him. Like, now we know that.
Well, she wants to kill him after all the later stuff. We don't know how they were at the beginning of their relationship when she was an impressionable young girl.
Oh my gosh. It's probably worse. Oh, blah. He makes me want to throw up.
It's probably worse than what you're thinking.
Oh. Like, that would drive any normal person to want to murder. Like,
you guys are really pushing my Straff did nothing wrong statement from earlier.
Oh my gosh.
Making it hard for me to stand by that.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Good.
Don't worry, I'll continue standing by it. Once I say something, I will never change my mind.
Alright, so Straff, he goes over to the herbs and poisons, and he just starts throwing all of it into a pot, since he does not know which one he is addicted to. So he gets it all in there, then he takes his concoction and just drinks it, and then passes out. And that's the end of the chapter. So, anything else from this chapter you two want to go over?
I just can't believe that she's been with Zane this whole time.
Yeah, that was quite shocking.
I have to worry about casting her because she's actually not as old as at all. She's not old at all, you know. But in
What do
my
you mean?
head,
She's
because
an
of
old
how
maid. She's like 20
she's
something.
like
Sheta. Disgusting.
23 maybe. Like, I
Oh, I
Well,
should
it
have
maybe
said
said
even.
at
like
least 25.
I was thinking she was like 27.
I thought she was just
Oh,
like early
oh.
20s was what it was because Straff likes 12-year-olds. So like
He does
this is
not
like, oh
like
my gosh.
12-year-olds. It never said he likes 12-year-olds.
I feel like it did.
No, it did not.
Joe, look. Where does it say that? Just kidding. Never. I'll look it up for later. But
All it says is that mid-20s is too old for him.
but
And
Zane is.
he had the one girl that looked really young and small because she kind of looked like Vin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that's enough about Straff. Gosh. Ugh. Yeah.
So, Sheta, just picture Leo at the Oscars.
Oh my! Don't say that. Don't say that, Justin. Do not compare. No, okay, no. Don't even.
Well, like the football coach Bill Belichick, he's like 73 and his girlfriend's 24. Ugh.
Don't want to
So, Sheta,
think
are
about
you
it.
upset that? Are you now upset that Zane wasn't, being faithful to Vin?
Yeah, not well. I think it's kind of hot, but I also think that
Very
sad.
blunt there, Sheta. Jeez.
Yeah, because I'm like, dang, I didn't know he was like that. I thought he was just a little weirdo and stuff, but a little impressed with Vin probably still being a virgin too.
She just got married.
Well, no, at the time, you know, with Zane going back home all frustrated after Vin doesn't like him and stuff. More fan fiction
Okay.
for me.
Ugh. Oh God, I was gonna say we should look up fan fiction to read, but no.
No.
Yes.
God, no.
Comment below if you want us to read some fan fiction. Or if you have any good ones, send it my way so I can read it.
All right. So, anything from this chapter you two wanted to discuss?
I got nothing.
Right. All right. We'll move on to chapter number 50. I have no doubt that if Elend reaches the Well of Ascension, he will take the power and then, in the name of the presumed greater good, give it up.
So he doesn't think giving it up is a good thing to do? He just thinks that that's what you would assume is the good thing to do? Because so far we've been criticizing the other guy for not giving it up all this time, so I wonder.
I think it just means that he's such a good guy that he would not take the power.
Yeah, but he says in the presumed greater good, and in the previous one he said he believes he's a man who would do what he believes is the greater good, as he sees it, So I wonder if there's something there.
I don't know.
All right. So chapter begins, and we're following Allrianne, and she's heading into her father's camp, and she's being helped by some bandits that she had found. She was lost because she was trying to find where her father's camp went after they left, and the bandits were coming after her. So she wound up rioting their emotions to get them to help her, because otherwise they were probably gonna rob, rape, and kill her.
Yeah.
Geez, she had
But
this
when
whole
this happened-
side adventure here.
This kind
a
of
little
made me
spin-off
think.
adventure.
Yeah, like a little Mad Max adventure over here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I now think Allrianne is a badass. Like, I just want to see a whole movie with her just being a boss. Like, she can do anything. Like, yep.
Well, when it comes
I
to the more
forgive.
simple-minded, like some bandits, because it talks about how, she's got to keep them on the hook about, yes, think about this reward. Don't think about other things,
Yeah, that's a very skilled. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she could just be a queen. Like,
Yeah,
I wonder her dad doesn't want her around that much.
Yeah, but it was hardly a challenge for her to riot their emotions, unlike Breeze. Getting him to love her was an accomplishment. And she thinks that his friends don't treat him well enough, but that's also what Breeze wants. People who underestimate you are easier to manipulate. She understands this because people always dismiss the silly young girl.
mm-hmm.
I sure did.
I did too. Even though it was like obvious she had some kind of specialness. Like, I just was like, no, she doesn't. Like, why did I think
Well,
that?
no, I thought she had a specialness. I just didn't think it was to this level.
That counts as not getting you. Or yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, okay, maybe she has some elementic powers, but she's not a threat, is what I thought. And that's the whole point.
Allrianne heads to her father, and he is a little annoyed to see her. She looks at maps on the table and can see that there are rebellions back home. An obligator named Lord Yeoman moved the moment Set had left. Set asks if she had brought that idiot Breeze with her, and she tells him that Breeze is a good man. Allrianne tells Set that she was right and that he should have made an alliance with Elend instead of threatening him. Set says they are going back home, but Allrianne says they are returning to Luthadel instead. They cannot leave until they have money or allies. But Set says that there is no ATM in Luthadel, and Allrianne confirms that she did not find any ATM in the palace. So she
That
tells her
little
father
bitch. How dare she trick our allies like that?
So she tells her father to go to Luthadel and then join whichever army is going to win, so that way that army will feel indebted to him. Set tells her that it is not going to be Breeze. If they go back, it will be to help Breeze's enemies. Allrianne shrugs her shoulder, but thinks that they can only help Breeze if they are there. This is a very small chance, but it's the best that she can give him.
That was very
She does
sad,
love
I thought.
him.
Mm-hmm. She at least cares
Okay.
about him.
I was really sad because I was like, how can you do this to Breeze? He fought his will so hard not to sleep with you.
It's interesting that she knows she can't just tell him, no, we're going to do what I want to do. Because he wouldn't, But to manipulate this situation where now there is a small possibility of a chance, where before there was no chance they were just going to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you see why she left Elend and them right away. She left to go to her dad in order to hopefully help Breeze in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. This makes me forgive Allrianne a little bit.
Forgive her for what?
For being a manipulative creep person.
Oh, I see.
And in my head, I'm always in Vin's perspective, so Vin doesn't like her, I'm not gonna like her.
Vin likes her, they're best friends. They went shopping together.
No, she does not like her.
Yeah, but Vin doesn't like her because she thinks that she's a ditzy girl.
I feel like Vin's a little jealous of that, that's all. Like, I would be a little bit.
Alright, so then we go into Elend, and he wakes up, and it's on the third day of their journey. He and Vin have been enjoying their journey together. And then Vin begins chopping wood, and Spook goes over and he tells Elend that Vin makes the rest of them feel redundant. Spook is a tin eye, but Vin can do everything he can do better. Whenever he is in Luthadel, he just feels useless. Elend says that at least Spook is an allomancer, but Spook says that people respect Elend. They just dismiss Spook. When was the last time he did anything important? Elend tells Spook that leaving with them was important. Spook says that they are not being followed by Straff's people, but there has been something else he's slightly seen. And Vin says it is the Mist Spirit. It is chasing them. She says that if they can see it, then call for her, because the records say it is dangerous. Then we jump over to Straff, and he wakes up in his camp. And he is surprised that he was not killed by his men, and then realizes that they probably expected Zane to return, so they did not want to curse Zane's wrath by killing Straff. Straff asks about Vin, and a guard named Grant tells him that she appears to be going to Terrace. He asks about the koloss and is told that there have been fighting in its ranks. Straff says they will break camp and head back to Northern Dominance. Grant is surprised and says that General Gennaro is planning an assault and only needs Straff's word, but Straff says they are pulling back. And then we go to Zazid, and Zazid's filling many of his metal mines, and Clubs walks into the room he is in. He informs Zazid that Straff has finally left. Zazid asks if Straff responded to any of Penrod's messages, but he hadn't, and he had even killed the last messenger. They did manage to stall them for 3 days, though, which is good because it got Vin even farther away. If she heard about the attack, then she might have returned and gotten herself killed. Zazid decides to pitch Clubs a religion, and he pitches him a faith known as Da-Rada, and they were artists. Zazid says that Clubs may be a general and a soldier now, but that is just what he must do. It's not who he is. He is an artist and a woodmaker. Zazid leaves a wooden coin that is a symbol of the Da-Rada faith, and Zazid thinks about the last time he preached a religion was the day Marsh found him, and he wonders where Marsh went.
Where the
me
fuck
too.
is Marsh?
Where is Marsh?
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen Marsh since, episode 3 of our Well of Ascension recordings.
Yeah, I
My current
really was
theory is
expecting
that
to see him
yeah,
sooner.
he's gonna show up with an army of Steel Inquisitors. That's my current guess.
Yeah, something.
He did
Like a
the
Hail Mary.
Talja Marah and became their new leader, and now he controls them or something like that.
Justin. That
Yeah?
for some reason I am offended by that.
Why?
Just no. I was gonna say he did the Gandalf, like look to the dawn and stuff. Do the Gandalf.
But they didn't set
show
that
up.
up.
Yeah, it's because this is the Marsh style. So Marsh style is not look to the dawn, but just is gone and does no note, no nothing.
And then Sazed goes to see Tindwell, and he finds her in the Great Hall of Keep Venture, along with Doxson. The two are going over maps. Penrod has control over the armies and has put noblemen in charge of the 20 battalions. There are 8 city gates to defend, and they want to put Sazed at Steelgate. Doxson doesn't trust the nobles to be in charge because they know nothing of war, so he wants one of their people near each gate. Sazed and Tindwell walk to the side to talk privately. Tindwell is upset that Sazed had sent Vin away. These people still have hope they will be saved, even now. Deep down, they believe that Vin will save them, and now Sazed has sent her away. But Sazed says it would be a waste to lose Vin and Elend. But Tindwell says that hope is never a waste. Sazed asks if it was stubbornness or hope that kept her in the city, but she says neither. Sazed then puts his arms around Tindwell and embraces her. She tells him that the reason she loves him is because he never gives in. Other strong men may crack, but Sazed doesn't. She says that his friends don't understand what they had in him, and Sazed notices that she's already thinking in the past tense. In his mind, Sazed curses her for staying, but also loving her for it. And then the warning drums on the walls begin to beat.
The feeling of just an encroaching war you can't win is always so freaking ominous in stories like this. Your enemy's just right there. They're walking towards you. There's nothing you can do, and you just got to sit here and awkwardly wait for them to come try to kill you all.
Brace yourself. Yep.
I always really like these scenes, though. I think they're freaky.
Yeah, always like the calm before the storm. Everyone's just there. Mm-hmm. They're all dour, knowing what's to come. And
But like I said, it's also all awkward because, you know, you're not in battle senses yet. You're not all hectic. You're not freaking out because you've already committed to being there. So you're just awkwardly standing there waiting.
This is why zombie things are the best, because zombies are that the whole time. You can never rest. You kind of have to be half alert.
Well, that's totally different. That would like drive you crazy, you know? At least with this, you can rest, like Joe said, the calm before. You know you've got a second to breathe before you go into crazy stuff. With zombies, they're always moaning out there. It would drive me nuts, you know? And at any second, they could unexpectedly break in.
And I think I can't remember if it was this chapter or the next one. It starts off with like Elend just thinking, oh man, these days have been great with Vin. We've been enjoying ourselves. That just makes me think that they probably have had sex then during their trip.
Yeah, it said they woke up together. Yeah.
And Vin was shirtless.
But
now here's the thing. One of their traveling companions, who they usually use to be on watch, is a Tin-Eye who has heightened senses.
Oh, I totally got that. Yep.
No wonder Spook's in such a bad mood.
Whenever they're, while Spook, he's moved on past Vin. I think we can all agree that he doesn't really have feelings for her anymore. But still, when you're sitting there on watch, and you're just having to hear them, fucking in there, that's got to kind of get on his nerves. It's like,
and I'm sure they're doing it as quietly as possible too, which probably makes it worse as a Tin-Eye, because it would sound more romantic, which sounds disgusting to listen to. Not even like sexy sex noises, but like romantic noises, and you'd be like, oh god, throw up.
That was pretty cruel of Sanderson to do. Poor old Spook. I was like, okay, Spook, you go on watch. We're just gonna go take a nap. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, a nap, right? God fucking damn
it. Plus, we get like here and in the next chapter, they're just like, Spook, you're burning your tin too much.
I like the noises.
Anything else in this chapter you two want to go over?
No.
All
right,
good.
Then our third and last chapter this week, chapter 51. And so, I have made one final gamble.
Yeah, see, Sheta?
What?
Doing something weird. Probably something with what's his name? Who took the power?
Rashik.
Rashik, right? Yeah, it's got to be something with that.
I don't even have a guess.
Well, like if he doesn't want them to give it up because he thinks it's bad, but we don't have enough information yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like we're purposely and frustratingly getting these pieces, and I can't make heads or tails for it with it yet.
I think I got tails. I don't have heads yet.
You don't get one or the other.
You only get one or the other.
We are mismatching the metaphor.
Okay, Sonic and Tails.
Just please go on, Joe.
All right. All right, so Vin is awake early in the morning, and she looks out at the mist. The thumping of the well seems to be getting weaker, and Vin wonders why. It should get stronger as she got closer to it, and she begins to worry that somebody else has already taken the power. Then Vin senses an allomantic pulse inside her tent and goes inside, and she finds the mist spirit standing over Elend's body about to stab him. Vin reacts and stops its attack with her knife, and she even hits like something solid, and then the mist spirit dissipates.
What the heck?
Afterwards, Vin goes back outside and asks Spook if he has seen anything. He hasn't seen any spirits, but there's a group of about 5 people following them. Vin asks Spook what he thinks of his nickname, and he answers that Kelsier gave him his name, and that's enough for Spook. Spook says that he wishes he were powerful like Vin. His powers are almost worthless. If he was Mistborn, then he could save people and stop them from dying. Instead, he's just Spook. Weak, a coward. Now we jump over to Sazed, and Sazed and the others are watching the koloss from atop the city walls. And the koloss are attacking and killing each other. And Sazed feels hope they'll just kill themselves. But Tyndall explains the koloss attack each other and get all of them enraged before attacking. And then the koloss charge at the city. Doxson gives out orders. Tyndall will go to Tingate because it's closer to Keep Venture, so that way she can help out Doxson if it needs to happen. Breeze and Ham will go to Pewter and Zinc Gates. And so everyone leaves to go to their different spots.
This really felt like divvying up your forces in Dragon Age when you're like,
Yeah.
you just send them off. You have no idea if you're ever going to see them again. But these are all your named companions you love.
Yeah. You don't send them there lightly.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is one where if people are able to look at like the map at the beginning of the book, you can kind of see where all the gates are at and so where people will be at. And like there, because there's that whole river that goes in the middle of Luthadel. And so Sazed's going to the other side of the river, Steelgate. So that's why before Doxson says that, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to get there because those koloss will have to go across the river in order. Whereas the other ones, tin, pewter, and zinc and brass are on the side of the river that the koloss are already at.
I think it's so funny, the setup that koloss start a war by beating each other up because they get so angry. And then they just attack people. They seem like such an unlikable band of whatever you'd call them. I don't know if the word race or species is correct with whatever the fuck they are.
They're animals, so I slaughtered them like animals.
Yeah, something like that maybe.
All right,
And
Anakin.
people, yeah, they are. Yeah.
Not just the men,
I like them.
but the women, the children.
Annie, you're scaring me. I think it's funny that they hype each other up by punching each other and stuff. Like,
well, is it hype each other up? Because the way it was described was they have 2 emotions, anger and boredom. So it seems like when the anger gets too strong, they start killing each other until they're like, hey, let's go kill those guys over there instead. You know?
Yeah, they weren't punching each other. They were killing each other. Just getting it's like a berserker rage they're getting
football
into.
players.
Oh yeah, it's like Krogan, like a battle rage, right? Or Klingons. I think they have a
they
similar
do
thing.
chest bumps like in sports.
No, not like chest bumps. Or blood rage for Krogan, that's what I meant to say.
It's been a while since I played Mass Effect, so I don't fully remember exactly how their fighting style.
Well, it's just that it is in their blood. They get so pissed off that they go into like a berserker state, like biologically. That's why they're such good fighters too. Or they're so dangerous.
Like a barbarian's rage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then we jump over to Straff. And Straff is informed by his general, Gennaro, that the koloss has begun attacking Luthadel. Straff smiles and orders his army to turn around. But they won't go too fast. They don't want to arrive at Luthadel too quickly.
It's so funny, Straff acting all badass. This is Zane's plan. You didn't even think of this obvious plan.
Yeah. He didn't even see
And
it.
he thinks Zane's still alive. He thinks he's implementing his idea, you know.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't believe Zane did it. He thinks he's with Vin.
But I don't know. Zane's got the thing in his back. Maybe he is still alive for all I know.
Justin, you just gave me
No,
hope.
no. I don't think that's what it is, Sheta, but I'm saying.
Justin, Zane's alive. I'm so
No,
happy.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that because I don't actually think that's true.
He's gonna return just like Marsh did.
Just like
Oh, thanks.
Kelsier's gonna return, Sheta.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Kelsier's gonna take Zane under his wing and teach him to be good boy.
Well,
Just like
Kelsier had
Heartbreaker's
his
gonna return, Sheta. Everyone will
Huh?
return. Everything will be happy.
Yeah.
Kelsier kind of had a spike too. The Lord Ruler stabbed him with a spear.
Not
Oh God!
the same.
Too soon, Joe.
Get out. Too sad.
And also, with Marsh, we weren't in Marsh's head as he died, unlike Zane.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's the one that kills that.
But he's special. No, he's not.
He is
Sorry.
not special.
Yeah.
Sheeta, you're probably the biggest Zane fangirl I've ever seen.
There's got to be some other ones. There has
You
to
can't
be.
have a name like Zane and not have and not be popular with girls. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So back in Luthadel, Sazed's watching the koloss from atop steel gate. And he's watching other gates, and the defenders are using arrows and rocks, but it is not doing much to the koloss. And he notices that some of the koloss are even carrying trees to use as battering rams. And then a messenger comes, and he takes about 600 of Sazed's 1,000 men in order to shore up the other gates. And then Sazed looks at what's left over and sees just how thinly stretched out the city's defenses are. And he watches back as the koloss start to break off and go towards other gates. So everything's looking bright and peachy for Luthadel.
That's right.
I feel like that's not true.
All right, and then we jump back to Vin and Elend and them. Vin jumps into the camp of men that were following them and knocks back a few of the guys. And then Jastes walks out from one of their tents. And Elend is upset to see Jastes and asks if he sent away his koloss. Jastes said he tried, but he couldn't control them once they saw Luthadel. Also, their supply of wooden coins started on fire. So that's what their big fire was.
Oh, it
So-
was their money.
Now, Elend is pissed that Jastes just left them there. Jastes says that they would have killed me. So he abandoned them like Elend abandoned Luthadel. Elend decides to pass judgment on Jastes for the slaughter of innocents and leaving Koloss without control outside the most populated city in the Final Empire. And Elend decapitates Jastes with one swing of a sword.
I can't believe that. That was so extra. I didn't know Ellen had it in him to be like that. That was really scary to me.
I don't think Elend knew he had it in him.
Now I have a new theory. It's not a real theory, so I'll just say it right now. Ellen has been replaced with Zane. Slowly but surely. They're gonna share the same body.
What?
Nothing.
That makes-
Just cut that out.
Is it this like a Varamir Six Skins thing where when he died, he warged into Ellen's body?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, something like that. We don't know all the powers yet, so it's not because I want Zane back, but Ellen's been acting kind of out of character lately, so
Oh my god.
this was just
By the
so
way,
much. He
my
decapitated his friend.
My Discord totally crashed and restarted, so I just came into whatever the hell shit was talking about there.
Oh,
Well-
you didn't hear
well,
my
you missed-
theory.
Sheeta's theory that Zane's warged into Ellen's body before he died.
Nope, absolutely not. Nope. Shut that down.
Yes, now we can have them both in there, and then Vin could add both of them. This is the best solution to a love triangle I've ever
Stop. You're fired. You're just fired.
I'll have to say,
It was
I
crazy
read a
though,
romance-
that passing
What?
judgment thing. That was crazy. That's all.
seen. That's why it's Zane.
No, it's not. But it really shows how Ellen's changed, and not all in the ways he would want to change. In ways he feels he has to change too.
He's not even king, though. Why did he do that?
Well, he explained he felt that he had the duty to pass judgment because he's the only one who could. Otherwise, he was gonna just leave, for all the people who were dying and going to die.
But killing someone is really, like the last thing you should do.
Yeah, but like, say they brought him back and they had a trial, he would have been found guilty and they would have just hung him, right? You know? And you would have
Yeah,
called
but he's
that
not king
justice,
anymore.
right?
He doesn't have that authority, you know?
Are you arguing with me or Ellen, shit? I'm not entirely sure. I was just saying
Oh,
his state of mind. I'm not passing a moral judgment.
okay. Yeah, no, I still think that was crazy. Especially since you were friends, you know? That's another
No,
step.
fuck this guy. I would be so pissed. I don't care
Yeah,
who he
fuck
was.
him, yeah.
I would have killed him too. I wouldn't have thought it's like the right thing to do or whatever. But maybe if I was a king, I would. But I would have chopped his head right off. This
Okay,
guy,
here's my one thing.
piece of shit, you know?
Sure, kill him, but chopping off his head? That's just so extra. You could even
What other
have,
way would you
like,
do it? No, Sheta. How would you do it that would be more humane? With the
I would,
tools you
like,
have at the camp here.
I would have one of the guards do it, or Vin maybe, or even Spook or
Why?
something, you know?
You would have
Because,
one of
So you-
Elend's people kill him? Or one of
yeah,
Jastes' own people kill him?
I would give the speech he gives later. Like, you guys all knew
So
he was
Sheta,
crazy, you know?
you'd be a
And
coward.
command one of them to.
Sheta.
No, I would be a king, and I would be
No,
like,
you'd be a coward because you wouldn't be willing to kill him, but you would still murder him.
oh, like in
Do we need
Game
to?
of Thrones?
Yeah.
No.
Do we need to bring up
Think-
the line from Ned Stark?
Think about
The
how
one who
that would
passes-
look to your wife and poor fucking Spook. You're gonna make Spook commit a murder? He's also not gonna
Again,
make Ellen. He's not gonna make Vin do it because she doesn't want
Ned
to.
Stark is lord of his land. That's one of his duties. Elend is just a guy now. He's not got no authority and stuff like that to do that. That's why.
So you're saying he should have just let this guy go? Wait. So he doesn't have the
Okay.
authority to do it, but he has the authority to command his wife to do it?
No. If he felt like that way, like he had to kill him and stuff. I just don't think that he should have done it that way, in the way he did.
Yes, and I'm asking what way would have been more humane?
Capture, like arresting him and taking him with them.
They're going to the Well of Ascension. They can't do that.
Then drop him off at the next city that has a jail and stuff.
That has a jail, like a small village.
No, like in Sazen's land. You know where they're going.
Bring him all the way there. Let him take resources and food. Drag him and his men along.
I'm just saying, it just is extra brutal. Is all. Extra.
You say it's brutal, but this is a different time. They don't have a gun to shoot him with. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, what I was gonna say too is, beheading is just so theatrical. Like I would have just stabbed him in the stomach or something.
Oh my
That would've been
god, that would have been
horrible.
horrible. What is wrong with you?
It'd look less
You're gonna-
gruesome.
It looks way more gruesome. You're gonna make him bleed out for God knows how long. Oh my god, Sheta. You sick
Sheta, do you
freak.
remember? Sheta, do you remember the movie Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah.
Do you know how much pain Tim Roth was when he got shot in the stomach?
Yeah.
Now
Well,
just do
Sheta,
that,
I'm-
but with a sword.
Also thinking of the part in Lost where Sawyer wants to put the guy out of his misery, so he shoots him in the heart.
I
you
always
know?
think of that scene. Yeah.
That's what you're pitching here.
I'm not saying it will be less pain for him. I think he deserves that pain. I'm just saying.
Oh, so you're
uh,
more cruel, is what you're saying.
it would look less ugly and scary to
No,
stab him in the
there'd be
stomach
way
than to
more
take his-
blood. The
to
guy
take
would
his
be
head off is
screaming.
That's too
Stab him in the
scary.
stomach and just walk away so he'll bleed out and die. Jesus, Sheta. And then when Vin's like, should we finish him off? You say he deserves to suffer. Also, I don't think Elend think he does deserve to suffer because this didn't seem like it was done out of malice. Really, it seemed like it was just like somebody's got to do it. You know.
Well, maybe I just don't understand.
I didn't know you were so dark, Sheta.
I'm not.
Remind me never to let you execute me, Jesus.
Yeah.
I think.
Stab you in the
I
heart.
think. I think it's impressive that Elend took his head off with one swing.
Mm-hmm. That's what that training does for you.
All right, so then Elend, he goes into a nearby forest, and Vin follows him. And he tells her that this was his first kill. He and Jastes had dreams once that they'd ally and bring great change to Luthadel. He does say that Jastes was right, though. Elend did abandon Luthadel. But Vin tells him that he did it for a good reason, though. Now, Straff won't attack the city, or maybe the koloss will wind up attacking Straff. But Spook arrives to them, and he says that that's not going to happen. Luthadel will not be there anymore. Clubs had told Spook what was going to happen, and that is why Sazed had sent them away. Elend's upset at Spook for not telling him, and Spook says that Elend would have wanted to go back, and Spook was afraid of dying.
Oh, he's just a baby.
And now Vin pieces everything together, and she realizes that the Well of Ascension is not to the north. The thumping has been getting weaker. The well is in Luthadel. They have to go back.
Yes.
We have to go
was
back.
Lucky for her. That was lucky for her, I think. Because they're going to have to go back anyways. If it truly is back there, then she gets to kill 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Yeah. Good news is just around the corner.
I don't know if that's what I'd say. This is the 2nd book in a trilogy.
But Spook says it's not going to matter because everyone is already dead. But Elend tells Vin to go. He and Spook will follow, but an Allomancer can go faster with pewter. So Vin warns Elend not to sleep at night and to beware the mist spirit. She thinks it may mean to harm him. So then Vin burns pewter and she runs off towards Luthadel. And that's where we end this week's chapters.
I'm kind of sad. I was looking forward to an adventure, like a traveling adventure.
But you knew it was a lie.
Yeah, but I thought it would still be in a different, like, country, a different place. I thought we'd go to like a cool mountain, like Mordor or something like that. But
no, I always figured that Vin was going to find out, turn around, and run back. I just didn't think that it would be specifically tied with her believing the well is there too, which makes it double interesting.
Sometimes I wonder, like, if it's been such a long time and stuff, like, is Luthadel built around the Well of Ascension then? You know? Like,
that's what it sounds like. That's what she believes, at least.
Like,
assumedly, it would be under that chamber where the Lord Ruler does his weird little man cave thing.
Chamber just made me think of him using the well as a toilet or something.
No, not like that.
Don't mess with me when I'm in my chamber. Don't interrupt me.
So Vin's just going to need to walk into his little man cave and speak in like parcel tongue or something in order to open up a secret entrance.
Yes.
Something like that. Or she'll need to burn atrium or something in some specific way to see it. I would also assume that's where his stores are if they're anywhere.
It would be cool. We did find that as treasure, but I really don't think it's there.
The atrium? I think it's got to be. Either it's there or he's been burning it to keep something down there. One of the two.
You think the deepness is just in the Chamber of Secrets? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I am convinced that the deepness is the mists, but I think there's some force beyond the deepness too that's kind of out in the midst or beyond it in some way. Not like just down there, I don't think, at least.
Well, he controls the mists, obviously. That's like the mists are his tendrils, like reaching out into the world.
It could be that, or it could be a side effect of whatever the thing is, you know. I could see either way. I think if it could control the mist, they'd be more directed and focused, but maybe it doesn't have the power yet. But we're assuming there's some force here.
He
for all
is
we know, there
directing
isn't.
it. He used it to almost kill Elend.
No, that was the Wraith in the mist. That's what I'm saying.
And what do you
I'm
think
not
the
convinced
Wraith
that thing's trying to kill him.
Oh, is that Zane, I wonder?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's either Kelsier or it's an evil mist Wraith. That's what I think. Because I can't get off that Kelsier is alive train. I just can't, no matter how much I think that's unlikely and might even be stupid. I just can't get off of that.
You know what?
But why would Kelsier try to stab Elend?
I think that was a
misunderstanding. He's trying to possess him, maybe. Yeah.
No.
Just like Luke. It's just a misunderstanding.
Oh, God. No.
I was just hovering over your bed and thinking about things. I wasn't trying to kill you.
God. So, Luke Skywalker, he goes through all the stuff to prove, yeah, Darth Vader, there's still some good in him. He gets a little bit of like, there might be a little bit of evil in Han and Leia's kid. Gotta kill him!
Yeah, a kid, too. Who goes to that step, you know? Kids still have a chance to change and stuff,
especially
you know? Like,
with the big
not just
the thing
a kid,
that's so dumb.
your nephew, like.
Yeah. And here's what's stupid. He was redeemed. Luke was just wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was
Yeah.
inevitable and there was no choice. He was just wrong. And at the end of that movie, he says there's no good left in him. And they're like, I know. They're just wrong. But more importantly, with Vader, you're like, if you don't cut down Vader and then the Emperor, all of your friends die and the galaxy falls, and he still refuses to do it. And then that's the plot they go with? Absolute nonsense.
Sorry for bringing that.
Yeah, you should be ashamed,
you
Sheta.
should.
Now we got to go make a Star Wars podcast just to get that out of our systems.
Well, that's just what I
Ugh.
thought of with this scenario.
No. I think a podcast complaining about the Star Wars sequels, I feel like there's probably too many of those out there that it's low.
Oh, God, yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
All right,
Kelsier said his last words were, he's hope. So we can keep hoping that he's alive, Justin.
That's true. I ain't putting all my theory eggs in that basket, though. I think the Wraith is something more than just a killer, though, because it was built up in all the journal entries as like this mysterious thing out there. I think it did attack somebody or kill somebody, right? I don't really remember.
A small thing, don't call it a Wraith, because Mist Wraiths and the Mist Spirit are two very different things.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. You're right.
But yeah, it did stab somebody in Elendi's journals.
Yeah, it could be. I think there's something. It's been built up too long to just be as simple as what they're implying it is. That's what I think.
All right. Now, do either two of you have any theories or predictions you want to throw out there before we get to this big battle that's going to show up?
Just that maybe the Mist Spirit is Marsh, an Inquisitor. Maybe it's an Inquisitor power, and he got turned into that somehow, and he's been following them, trying to give him hints.
I would like to say that Vin was seeing the Mist Spirit early in the book. Marsh was still hanging out with Satan.
All right, I'm back.
Well, maybe it's a
Alright.
different Inquisitor. Maybe it's her father. Wait, her father's not an Inquisitor.
And he's dead.
Well, I feel like dead people become part of the Mist somehow. So
Yeah,
said that
I'm not against that.
yeah,
With
I
all
was
this
saying-
talk about religions, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out some truth of the universe, that would challenge Sazed's thoughts on that stuff, too. I think the well's beneath the chambers, like I said. I think the ATM's there, or whatever he's feeding the ATM to. I think that Vin feels very strongly that you've got to give up the power of the well, because that's what the Lord Ruler didn't do. But this stuff is starting to make me think that if she does get it and then heroically gives it up, something even worse is going to happen than what they could expect, just from how that guy's talking. Like, maybe there is some force out there just waiting for that power to dissipate from the world so it can step in or something.
and she'll have to make the same choice as the Lord Ruler.
Well, I don't think she'll know about it, I think she wouldn't know, and she would do it because that's the good thing to do. And then when she does it, something horrible will happen, and she'll be like, well, shit.
Well, she wants
I
to do
was
it because
wrong.
that's what Elendi said in his logbook, was that you had to give up the power of the well.
Yep.
Yeah, and the piece
However,
of
we
paper
don't
that
know
was
enough about it
taken
yet. What's that?
said he must. And the piece of paper that was taken says he must not be able to take the power for himself.
Oh, does it really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it said? Okay, well, there you go.
It says he must not reach the
So-
power and he must not take it for himself.
So somebody is trying to tell them something, like you said before, or trying to make them
Mhm.
not know something. I'm curious to see.
There is
Seems
just
to all
such
be
a
adding
strong
together. I'd forgotten about
presence. Yeah, a strong presence all around them, trying to corral them, it feels like. And we are not seeing it. So I am just like,
that. Yeah.
what could it be that would be interesting enough and make enough sense? Because it's just so strong. It's like it's bothering Sazed and Tindwell. It's trying to get Vin in them. Like, it's just too big of a presence.
But it's fascinating that it's at a time that they have no time to think about this stuff or the implications. They are way too
It's
busy.
just so like in the peripheral, So
Mm-hmm.
it
That's
can't
something
be
I'm so
anyone
curious
but
about.
Kelsier. It has to be Kelsier, right?
I wouldn't say right, Sheta, but if that
right,
popped
Justin?
up, there was always a time where if he popped up, I would think that's stupid as shit. If he popped up in this situation, I would think, oh, okay, I get it. However, Sheta, I truly think that's just fan fiction, wishful thinking. God fucking damn it! All right, I'm back.
Oh, you were fine.
Yes, I think that's just fan theory, wishful thinking. Shit.
Yeah.
All
But I
right.
don't know who else it could be. If it was Marsh, it would be too boring. If it was...
Well, more than
It-
likely,
Huh?
more than likely, it's just something we're not aware of yet. Whatever the
Yeah,
force in the mists is that we have no knowledge of yet,
well, the only people left for it to be would be like the original Alendi or all the characters,
What
the
do you
other
mean?
characters.
What do you mean by the only people left? It could be like any of billions of things that the story hasn't
Yeah,
told
but
us
that
about.
wouldn't be interesting enough. It's got to make sense. It's
It
got to
would be
wrap around
interesting if it
somehow.
was a really cool element they were introducing in the next book that they were just touching upon now. Do you know what I mean? Like how Orseer was. Like we barely touched upon him,
Maybe.
but then he was a big element. Or Zane,
Yeah, but
they implied stuff, but we didn't know about that yet,
well, I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so we just finished the book now, right, Joe?
No.
How many chapters left?
Well, I still have other questions I want to ask.
Okay.
So, yep. So, will Vin arrive in time to save her friends in Luthadel?
Oh gosh.
Or even, can she save her friends? Because is she going to be able to fight off 20,000 koloss? Plus then whatever Straff has coming.
No, whatever power is in the well, maybe she'll be tempted to use it to save her friends. Maybe she'll choose not to, maybe she will. But either way, I think whatever she unlocks down there is going to have the side effect of destroying the koloss, probably. Because they're tied to that power somehow.
Oh, that's true. It's going to be a classic, like, shut everything down with one button thing.
Yeah. Little finger snap or a what else does that happen in?
Ultron robots,
No, they
Put that
killed
on
all
the
of those individually.
Yeah, but they died
something
too,
where
or they,
No, they killed them all individually, and there was only one left.
Destroying the droid command ship in Phantom Menace.
Yep.
Yes, I knew it was
That kind of stuff. But there's one where they all like turn to dust that I'm trying to think of, and I can't think of what it is.
Oh, you're thinking of the CW Crisis.
What? That never happens in there.
Yeah. Once the sacrifice was made, all the wraiths just poofed away, and there was a new day.
They recreated the entire multiverse. That's not comparable at all.
Okay.
You're thinking of Endgame shit.
Was it something like that in Van Helsing?
Endgame.
God, I don't remember.
You know what? Everyone knows what we're talking about. We don't need a good example.
It happened in something, okay? You happy? There we
You
go.
guys know what we're talking about. Yeah.
South Park. They killed Zombie Kenny, and all the other zombies went back to normal.
There you go. There you go. That's what we were referencing.
Well, no, I don't think that kind of thing will happen. My guess is Vin will fly in. She's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I have to save everybody," and she's gonna just badassingly go all out, burning all the metals, pulling out all the stops, trying to hold the ground and stuff. And I think, well, this sounds stupid now, but then Spook and Elend finally arrive and stuff, and then Elend will use his kingly powers to get the koloss to stop fighting and to follow him. And whatever thing was trying to kiss him, it will give him the power to control them a little bit.
I'm sorry, did you say kiss? Sheta.
Yeah, the mist.
Don't just sneak that in there. What the hell are you talking about?
I imagine it was like a mist spirit that was hovering over Elend's sleeping body, trying to kiss him and get into his body and stuff.
What the?
I think that thing was with Jastes. Then that's kind of how he controlled the koloss. Now that Jastes kind of fucked up, it's finding a new host and it's gonna go into Elend.
Where is all of this coming from, Sheta?
It's kind of random that they
what the? I'm sorry, I'm still registering this. So Jastes was possessed by a mist spirit that kissed him and turned him into a koloss commander, and now Elend will have the same thing. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
You've got a whole thing going I had no idea about.
Those are the pieces that we got. Like, otherwise, why would they randomly run into Jastes? And why was that
So
Wraith,
Elend could kill him
hovering?
and have a character moment. Oh,
They
so it
randomly-
was freed from him after he killed him. Is that what you're saying?
No, like, it was already abandoned him. That's why koloss wasn't listening to Jastes anymore. He already abandoned him
Wow.
and is trying... Yeah.
They didn't randomly run to Jastes. Jastes was purposely following them so that way he could join up with them, so, strengthen numbers.
Well, Joe, because the spirit was guiding him towards him, right, Sheta?
Mm-hmm. I bet. Yes, now that makes sense. It was probably finding
And
him
oh my
close,
god, that's why Spook's there, Sheta. It ties in
Why?
with your previous theory.
Because he is the Lord Ruler, time traveled back.
Yep.
Oh, otherwise he would be gone. Why would he wait? This might be the ultimate team up.
This
Spook
might be
and
the
Elend come
ultimate nonsense shit. I am lost.
But these are real clues.
Back to your question. I don't think she's going to be able to save everybody. I don't think Ellen's going to command the koloss. I think koloss are pretty much irredeemable. I think they're monsters. I don't think they're alive in the way we think
But
of
how
alive.
could you? They've taken pains to say that they want to be human. They want to have money and order and lands and just start a family like everyone else.
No, they didn't say that. They have no concept for what any of that stuff means, So I really think that they're just wrong. They're just wrong things, Because, orcs can talk and think too, but they're monsters, They're just evil monsters. I don't think this is fucking Rings of Power where they have little families they kiss before they go off to war or whatever stupid shit.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think you're right. I just think that they do have human elements in them.
Well, yeah, I think those are what makes them seem human. I think they're a thing made. So that's why I think that whatever's in the well undoing it will destroy them, because otherwise it doesn't sound like even all the armies together could take them out. And we already know that, not Straff, what's Allrianne's dad's name again?
Set.
Yeah, Set. We know that he's involved. He's going to take a side. I think it would.
But he left. Oh, wait, they haven't left all the way, though. Yeah, they're coming back. Gosh, this is getting very exciting. Yeah, I hope that Vin does save everybody. It would just be too sad. But I feel like it might be Clubs who is killed.
One other question will be, will there be any casualties before Vin gets back to save them all?
That I do not know the answer to.
I'm saying Demu and Clubs.
I think Clubs. He just got a religion, so I think that makes sense, sadly.
Sad.
I think
We
Demu,
learned that
because
he
he
likes
also
art.
has a sad story, I think that's likely.
They're primed
I don't
to
think
be
it'll be
killed.
everybody.
Sad.
I think they want us to think Breeze is going to die, but I don't think he is.
Yeah.
But
No
we'll see
way.
if he will.
I'll go down the names for characters, and you can say whether you think they'll live or die.
This
So,
is macabre.
Breeze.
I don't want to do that. Jesus.
Who cares? We're doing it. Breeze.
You go first, Sheta.
He'll live.
Yeah, I think Breeze might get a fake death, but I don't know that I
He
believe
has
he's
too
gonna
much
die.
to live for. He has a young
That's
wife.
why you'd
and...
kill him off.
No.
If you
It's
kill
too
off somebody
interesting.
with nothing to live for, then that's boring,
Yeah, but his stuff is too interesting.
Oh, I agree. I don't think he will. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's why he's gonna live. For me.
I think he's going to get a fake out death, though.
Oh yeah.
All right. And then you both already said Clubs and Demu will die.
Well, I don't
Sadly,
know
yeah.
that I think they'll die. I just think of anyone, it's like the most likely.
You have to answer, Justin.
Well, Club's got the moment with
Says it.
Breeze. He got the moment with Breeze earlier when they had the time together.
Yeah.
He got the moment with Sazed. He hasn't done much, and then he steps out and starts doing stuff. So I do think he's set up to die.
All right. Ham.
I used to think so, but he hasn't done anything in a while. So if the next chapter starts with Ham, then I'll be like, he's dead for sure. If it doesn't, then I'll think he's safe.
Ham is like the solid backbone of the entire group. Like the only one that kind of likes everybody and everyone kind of likes, if he's gone, then there's no more team. So I think
I
he'll
don't
be
know.
fine.
I feel like there's barely a team anymore anyways without Kelsier. They're all just kind of...
Yeah, but there is, I think is kind of like Martian Manhunter of the group is Sazed. He's kind of like
Yeah.
awkwardly trying to keep everyone together.
I think as long as you've got Sazed, Ellen, and Vin, the group will stay together,
Well, we'll say Sazed next.
No, he has
Who?
to be okay.
Sazed? Oh,
Sazed.
Sazed's going to be fine. Yeah. I have no worries for Sazed. I'm sorry, writer. I have no worries for the guy. I have so few worries that if you kill him, I will be upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Doxin.
I don't think so, because you wouldn't get anything emotional out of Doxin dying. It would just be kind of cheap.
Yeah, it'd be kind of a waste to kill him.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't kill him here, personally.
All right. Tindwyl.
I don't think so. Brandon Sanderson likes her too much to kill her here, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Too lovable.
And all it would
too
do is
strong,
make Sazed sad, which I don't think there's a purpose in doing.
All right, a smaller character, but he's been named in the last book and this book, so we'll go with Goradel.
Who?
He was a Ska
He
that
will be killed.
he's the Ska that
yeah.
turned on Lord Ruler, ripped off his patch, and
Yeah. He was the guy
Came
at the
back.
gate that Vin.
I don't
murdered.
think he's even going to be referenced.
He was referenced just recently.
Yeah, he
So-
was, but not enough that they really wanted to make sure you remember him.
Same thing with Doxin. Would be kind of a waste to kill him. I want to see him last throughout the entire series.
That would be badass.
Kind of a small background character.
all right, then Spook.
Spook's going to be fine.
Yeah, he has to be.
He's going to be fine, or he's going to sacrifice his life to save Elend. One of the two. I know that's a drastic difference. And say, I wasn't a coward, was I, Master Elend?
He would. That is not his character.
And then Elend be like, no, bitch, you were. And then he dies.
I hate this. This is the worst fanfic.
And then we'll go Elend.
No.
Hmm.
Too much work. No real good thing that would happen if you...
If Kelsier comes back, Ellen will be dead.
What? No.
Because
Why?
Vin can't have both and be happy.
Okay, Joe, cut this off. Cut this off now.
What are you talking
Okay.
about?
All right,
Not
we'll go next up.
romantically.
All right, Set.
Oh, yeah.
Why have I forgotten who Set is?
Dead. I think that's Allrianne's father, commander of the other army.
Oh, no. Would Allrianne take over if he died? That's the question.
He has a lot
Well,
of
he-
sons. I don't think so.
He has
Then
one
no,
son.
he will not die. If he has a son, either him and his son will die, or he will not die.
Ooh, I hope Allrianne becomes queen. That would be so cool. Yeah, so
All right,
I'm gonna
we'll
put
ask-
him in the dead category.
Jesus.
All right, then
Just because you want that to happen, you killed the poor guy?
He's not very nice.
all right, next we'll go Allrianne.
No, she'll be fine.
Oh
questions.
no. I feel like she might die.
No, 100% she will not die. She hasn't done enough to die.
She's seduced Breeze and
Yes, but she hasn't
These
done
kind of
enough for the
characters-
plot to kill yet.
she won't, I think she will. I'm gonna put her in my dead list.
Jesus Christ, you're killing everybody, Sheta.
Sheta,
I
you
think it
just
should-
killed Set, so that way Allrianne can be queen, and now you killed her.
Because
They're
I feel
both
like they're
gonna die. Jesus.
Because I feel like that they'll just like I'll be happy for a second, and then she'll be killed in like the next page and stuff. So it'll just be
Jesus.
so tragic. This war has got to be tragic, otherwise
There
the
is
build-up
no
won't be
need
worth
for
it.
this war to be tragic, Sheta.
Especially
Yeah, there
since
is.
Sheta said that Breeze had to live because he has too much to live for, and then you kill Allrianne.
Wouldn't that be so tragic though? If the young girl dies and old ass Breeze has to live with that, like that would be too tragic and stuff.
All right, then we'll go Straff.
Please,
I hope he
please
lives.
die. Like no,
I am-
no.
Here's actually what I want to happen. I want Straff's army to come back in, see that the Vin and them are about to defeat the Koloss, and then join their side and become a great hero in the city. That's what I hope happens.
Oh hell no, no.
And then he can get his noble position back, and his son will be
Oh.
king. And I'm really hoping he
my
comes
God.
out on top.
Yeah. I
And
hope
then
he
a
dies
pen-
in the toilet like Tywin.
All right, then we'll go Penrod.
Penrod, he's fine. I feel like he
No way,
doesn't
Penrod's
seem,
dead.
but he's not a
He's dead.
fighter.
He set up all of this.
Yeah, usually those types just kind of like squirrel away and then avoid the danger.
I don't think so.
Unless the koloss bust into his house and like start killing him and stuff.
The koloss are busting into everyone's house, I think. I doubt they have
Hmm.
battle plans. I think they just attack whatever they see.
Sorry. First come, first kill.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then lastly, Vin.
Yeah, that
Of
would be a
course
surprise.
not.
That's for sure.
Well, you know what? He did kill Kelsier too, so maybe every book he kills who you think is the main character.
I'm going to say if he killed Vin in this book and it wasn't like a fake out Jesus death or something, but like a real legit death, I don't think this book would be I think this would be a very unpopular series.
That's a good guess or good reasoning.
Mm-hmm. And I know this is a popular series, so I would be just absolutely shocked.
Yeah. Yeah, and what you said. If it's not like a sacrifice style.
Well, yeah. You know, like you think she's dead, but the way it's written, you feel like she's probably not, and then her finger twitches at the end of the book or something, you know?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So then we'll look forward to next week where we will be doing chapters 52 through 55. So we're not quite finished with it yet, but we are, if you look at the book, we are getting very close.
I don't
Yep, so
see how many chapters.
So once again, chapters 52 through 55.
And then for anybody who hasn't gotten the next book, it's called The Hero of Ages. So be sure to go buy it, that sort of stuff. That way, if you're following along with us, you can do that. And one other thing I should have said, maybe a couple weeks ago, but I kind of forgot. If you have any questions for Justin Sheta about the Well of Ascension, send us any questions via email, comments, that sort. Due to our recording schedule, we'll only have like a little under a week, so probably like 6 days. And so if you can get it in, great. I'll ask them the question. If you are listening to this in the future, maybe in the next book or whenever you catch up, you can send in a question for Justin Sheta to answer at a wrap-up. Okay, and then let's go to our characters and quotes of the week.
My favorite character this week is Allrianne for being such a badass and revealing a bit of her true personality and motives. And I'm glad that she actually does like Breeze in some capacity. Didn't just straight up betray us and stuff. Justin?
Oh, I'm going with Straff. I really loved how
Oh my
pathetic
God.
he was. It was so entertaining.
You're gonna make him win the favorite character contest.
Here's the thing. A character who's a villain who is that pathetically lame at all times, when they just swing their way back over and over again, I find that kind of character so fascinating. Because you're like, by all rights, he should be dead due to his own incompetence. And yet he keeps scratching his way back like a frickin' cockroach that won't die. Because of all things, he's just desperate to live. I always really am interested in that type of character.
No, it makes complete sense that you like him. He's done very well. Very likable. On a level I've never seen before.
Yeah, it's hard to get to that level.
Yeah. Without just being unbelievable, you could just
well, then they're not unlikable, then they're just funny. Yeah. If they're eating babies, they're just funny,
you're just like, whoa, haha, eating babies, is that what you said was funny?
Yeah, I'm evil,
How many books has a villain who just eats babies?
No, I just mean a villain who's just doing the most evil things physically possible just for the lulz, You're just you don't believe that character exists and they're just so absurd you laugh at them, And that's not even bad. Some cool villains are like that, but you know what I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. This one is very built, has a really solid personality, and gosh.
Yep.
So many aspects are just so unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
And then my character, I'm going to be in the same boat as Sheta. I'm going Allrianne. I just found I found hilarious how she, just ditches them, and then she just gets a band of bandits just to help her. And when she shows back up, Set's just like, another band of bandits? Come on.
The way Set
And
treats
then
her is so funny. I did not expect their relationship to be like that.
Mm.
And also, like, the way it was written, because at first she's just like, oh yeah, people are easy to toy with. Breeze was a fun one, so it's just like, oh man, she never liked Breeze. She was just using him. Then at the end, she kind of manipulates her father to go back, hoping that it will be a way to help Breeze. So it kind of shows that, all right, she wasn't just manipulating Breeze. She actually does kind of care for him, and she got out of the city in order to do her part to try to help him as well.
Mhm.
And she did it so
Yeah, I was
cleverly
thankful
and
for that,
smartly,
too.
like, because like you could just like
Spoke
kind of
his
pout and be
language.
like, "I want to stay with you," yeah. But then she was really smart about it. Like that is now I really believe that they are like going to be such a good couple because they do speak each other's
All right.
language.
All right, and then quotes.
My quote is gonna be the part where Allrianne. I thought this was so funny. She comes out with all her stuff, like, "I'm coming with you guys," and it's like, and then Ben goes, "We don't want you to along. We don't trust you, and we don't like you." Elend closed his eyes. Dear blunt Vin. Allrianne just twittered a laugh as the servant returned with 2 horses, then began to load one. "Silly Vin," she said. "How can you say that after all we shared?" "Shared?" Vin asked. "Allrianne, we went shopping one time. And I felt we quite bonded. Why, we're practically sisters." Vin gave a flat stare. Yes. Yes, Allrianne said, and you're definitely the older, boring sister. She smiled sweetly, then swung easily up into her saddle, suggesting considerable horsemanship. Just thought that we've actually thought about her character there, that she is more competent than we know and stuff, and she knows Vin, like, how to talk to her a little bit, like, she's just very good with people and a lot more smart and competent than we guessed. I'm excited to cast her.
My quote comes from when Sazed's looking at how unequipped and unprepared everyone is. When he says, "We aren't ready for this," or he thinks, "Even with months to plan and anticipate, we aren't ready. This is what we get, being ruled over by a god for 1,000 years. 1,000 years of peace. Tyrannical peace, but peace nonetheless. We don't have generals. We have men who know how to order a bath drawn. We don't have tacticians. We have bureaucrats. We don't have warriors. We have boys with sticks." I always think it's very interesting, that idea that when you're in a time of peace, you just can't protect yourselves. Constant war and struggle is what makes you able to do that, and I think that's a real sad part about humanity.
All right.
Like,
And then
war
my
makes men hard, peace makes men soft. Very sad.
All right. And then my quote comes from Elend and Vin talking in the forest. He looked out, staring into the forest. "I'm not sure why I did it, Vin," he said quietly. "Why should I be the one to bring justice? I'm not king, yet it had to be done. I felt it. I feel it still." She laid a hand on his shoulder. "He's the first man I've ever killed," Ellen said. "He and I had such dreams once. We'd ally 2 of the most powerful imperial houses, uniting Luthadel as never before. Ours wasn't to have been a treaty of greed, but a true political alliance intended to help make the city a better place." He looked up at her. "I think I understand now, Vin, what it's like for you. In a way, we're both knives, both tools. Not for each other, but for this kingdom, this people." I think, that one, it shows that, why Ellen did it, because he felt like it had to be done with killing Jastes. The other part about it is, I think it also, that plus stuff earlier, I see it as a little bit of a tragic thing for Jastes, because like he says, they were friends before, they had plans and all that, but then Jastes, he tried to implement that stuff, but then all sorts of other people killed him, killed his family, killed his sister, and it just wound up pretty much breaking him. So he winds up doing something stupid with the koloss.
That's true. He is sad.
All right. Anything else about these chapters either two you want to discuss before we finish up the podcast?
No, I think we went over most things. I think we may have lost Justin.
All right. That's fine.
I'm here. That's fine. We don't need him.
All right. So, then we'll do plugs.
If you want to follow my art, I have some stuff posted on my Instagram at Sheta_low. And then I have my cosplays and outfits of the day posted on my other Instagram, Mermaid Machete.
And you can head on over to Profanity Beaver at most of them social medias if you want to have your life changed forever for the worse.
Is that a promise? That's a guarantee.
Oh, I'm just being honest. I'm not going to lie to the audience.
All right, and then for Cosmic Chronicles related stuff, you can on some of the places you listen to this, you can leave us a review. You can leave us a comment. We'll read those out. If you happen to be one of like the 3 people that still use the site formerly known as Twitter, or now known as Key Most Ancient Letter, you could follow us on there at Cosmicron, COSMERECHRON. I might make other social media things once I figure out how. If you want to contact us directly, because you don't have a way to leave comments, but you still want to talk to us, cosmicchronicles@gmail.com. Talk to us. We'll read it out here. If you specifically have some Zane Vin fanfics that you want Sheta to read, send them there and I'll forward them to her.
Oh God, please don't. I don't need her working that into this nightmare she's building.
I'll keep it completely separate. Don't worry.
But keep in mind, those fanfics, please don't have spoilers for later books.
Oh, that's true.
If you have fanfics you want Sheta to read, send them. All right, and
Yay!
yep, that'll be it for this week's episode. Once again, next week are chapters 52 through 55. And so while you wait for next week, everyone, just go out there, have fun, and do what you usually do, but in a fun way.
Unless you're a serial killer, in which case, please don't do what you usually do.
In which case, they always have fun.
I don't think so. I think they have real problems.
Yeah, no, sorry for that joke. Okay, good. Bye and happy Halloween.
It's after Halloween.
Happy Halloween! Every day is Halloween.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe if you want to know about serial killers, maybe look up that Anna Kendrick movie on Netflix about the love connection serial killer.
Wait, does Anna Kendrick play a serial killer in there?
No, she plays the girl who, because
No,
the
I
serial
don't care
killer was
anymore.
he was a contestant on the Love Connection, and then he wins.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was interesting.
in the middle of his like crime spree. So it's a movie about that.
Yep.
That.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing.
And I know that she plays the girl, and she may have directed it. I could be very wrong on that.
No. When you said she's not playing a serial killer, I lost all interest.
All right. But all right, everyone, goodbye.
Alright. Bye!
After a while, crocodile.